Let's move on here, Sean. We'll look at the NFL playoff bracket as we get ready for conference championship weekend, and we have 4 teams remaining. And kind of we'll do the same thing we did last week. What was your biggest takeaway from divisional weekend?
The biggest takeaway from divisional weekend is that, yes, defense wins championships, and that's very evident. But an offense can sure as shit throw one away. It's kind of one of those where, you had a team in Buffalo where a lot of pressure's on the offense to make up for a mediocre defense. And Josh kind of showed that even though there's pageantry there, if he makes too many errors, it almost sets up his defense for an impossible situation. And that's kind of what happened in Houston. Good Lord. Anytime it looked like the Patriots were human and they had kindly figured something out, all they had to do was just put a hand in C.J. Stroud's face, and he made some of the worst decisions I'd ever seen. So, man, I feel for the kid.
This guy sucks.
He's in a bad spot, both contractually, kind of just like appearances, and generally just having to deal with this, and the fact that everybody's blaming it on him, and it's hard not to.
Right.
Unless you're going to blame it on the turf that Nico Collins slammed his face into, that'd be the only other thing. But I thought his receivers played real well. I saw a lot of guys open. The tight ends looked good. I thought the running game was fine. It's what you kind of would expect against the Patriots. But man, just any type of pressure, and he would try to do something. So, I'm not going to say the Patriots didn't win with defense, but they definitely got a gift, because I think as a whole they had trouble moving it against Houston. Houston was forcing takeaways. They're doing everything they could. But when you force, 4 turnovers and the other team forces 6, there's only so much you can do. But yeah, I think it sets up for a pretty entertaining 4. I don't know. I can certainly tell you this is nothing that I predicted at the beginning of the year. So, congrats to that. Maybe one of the 4. I don't even remember what I picked.
Yeah, I don't have them in front of me.
I'd say I do love me some Sean McVay offense and good defense. So there's a chance I had the Rams close to this point, but otherwise,
possible.
Nope.
Yeah, I feel like not many of us had Broncos Patriots.
I'm pretty sure I had the Rams winning the West, so that was already wrong. And then from there, who knows?
Yeah, it's anybody's guess. Like I said, we'll glance back at that once we get post Super Bowl. For me, I said it in our huddle up group chat that the Bears, the Bears are going to be a problem. I think you were the one to correct me and said they already are. But in year one, you look back to where this team was at the start of the year, kind of stumbled out of the gate week 1. They had a dominating win over the Cowboys, and I think it was week 3. And at the time I was like, God damn, what an embarrassing loss for the Dallas Cowboys. And in hindsight, I'm like, it wasn't good to get blown out in Chicago.
Yeah, it's never good for that to happen. Yeah.
But in hindsight, it's like, wow, you got your ass kicked by a team that was pretty damn good. And because we'll certainly talk about the teams that are still playing when we get to our predictions here in a minute.
If your goal is to get your offensive wheel spinning, that Dallas defense is a pretty good fire starter, I guess.
Yeah. When you look at the teams that got eliminated, again, Houston feels like they have a lot of problems. Buffalo now doesn't have a head coach, and Josh Allen comes short again. And the 49ers, now granted, aided by injury, but got absolutely nuked off of that field. Like the Chicago Bears, they took a team that a lot of people have as the clear-cut best in the NFC. And, the Bears aren't going to stand a chance. And, granted, for a couple of quarters and, multiple interceptions, you got to clean that up. But for a guy that's been as criticized as Caleb Williams has, and I'm not saying he maybe didn't deserve some of it, but his first year with adults in the room and the coaching staff, and the change from week 1 till the NFC divisional round has been tremendous. And you see the weapons he has on offense, and if they continue to do that and they continue to remain creative, which with Ben Johnson leading that team, I have no reason to believe they won't. Like the shift in the NFC North, like everybody was like, man, this is the Lions division, and can the Packers get into
the Bears
it?
are just the Lions.
And like, what are the Vikings going to do? You know, like, you know, is JJ McCarthy going to be, man, dude, the Bears are the favorite for that division next year. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you lock them in as the
I
favorite.
think the experts will still like the Packers. I don't
They
know
probably
why.
will, but it's the Bears. So like my biggest takeaway, apart from the teams that won, is the Chicago Bears should hang their head high, because I mean, granted, you don't want to lose; it stinks, but
Yeah.
but man, they did a hell of a lot more in this season than anybody was going to give them credit for sure.
Well, yeah, and I think Ben Johnson. It's also like, in addition to like Caleb Williams, there's a lot of other young guys that have emerged on that team, not just on offense but defense. And you have guys, like Luther Burden, that's starting to step up, and you have some of these young receivers that you're going to need to kind of take over. And Monungai in the backfield, boy, did he turn into a godsend, and really set Ben Johnson up for that kind of lightning and thunder, mimic what he had in Detroit kind of thing with Swift and him. That really worked out to one of his strengths. And then, just like in Detroit, a very good blocking tight end in Kmet, and what has developed into a very reliable target in Loveland. And all of a sudden there's weapons everywhere.
Yeah, look, when the Bears made that pick for Colston Loveland, a lot of people were like, what the hell are they doing? Tyler Warren's still there. And look, not to steal Kyle's gimmick here, but like,
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
Like, Colston Loveland, I've watched, again, more Michigan football over the last decade plus of my life, than I ever thought I was going to. And Colston Loveland was a game changer at the tight end position for Michigan. I knew that's what he was going to bring to this offense. And knowing what Cole Kmet is, he can catch passes. He's proven that. But he is more of a stay-at-home block, kind of safety net tight end, where Loveland's a guy that's going to get out in space, and he's going to catch pretty much everything that comes his way. So,
they wanted more of a playmaker, split out,
and that's
creative
what
play kind of tight end. Whereas, Tyler Warren's more for that situation of, you need is he a better all around tight end? Probably, if you factor in the blocking game. But they didn't need it. They didn't need that position.
No, they had that already. Tyler Warren is a better Cole Kmet. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's
and it
not
appears substantially.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure. I love Cole Kmet, but yeah, he does have his limitations. But all right, let's move on here, Sean. Let's close the book on the divisional round, and